With the new or revised version of the common law copyright, it has become even easier to use on the spot or upon mailing if necessary. Making front-to-back copies of the common law copyright means that while carrying it or keeping it with you, that it is only a single page. In this section we'll walk you through using the common law copyright we assume at, this point it has both been notarized and filed for the public record in the UCC division for your region. Documentation, even though it is part of public record, still must be served on the party in violation. The process for serving the common law copyright at this point is very simple. On the following 2 pages you will see an example you should recognize from your filing. It is the common law copyright filled out, notarized, filed and ready to be used. Encircled in dashed lines are the 2 areas that must be filled out for use. There are 2 scenarios that you will have generally to use the common law copyright notice. One is where it is presented in person. In such a scenario you would fill in the notice provided under certified mail number with something as such for your personal records provided in person on 6-27-2014. The other alternative is that you are going to provide by mail under a certified mail number. In such a case simply write in the certified mail number. Regardless of how you provided it, in person or by certified mail, you must fill in the lawful/legal notice provided to section with the information of who it is being served upon. If it is being provided by mail, we would suggest writing in the name and the address of the party is being sent to. If it's been provided in person, a name and office or badge number will work just the same. 7. If you are mailing it, make sure to make a copy for your records, or keep the original and send a copy. If you are providing a person, in most instances you will not have the availability of a copy machine or anything of the sort. In such a situation it is still vitally important to keep good records. Thus we would suggest taking a high-resolution picture with a cell phone and sending it to yourself by email. This is a double guarantee that the information will not be lost and that you will have it if necessary as prima facie evidence at a later date if necessary.
Now we're going to look at my copy of the common law copyright as mentioned in the redemption manual. Now this common law copyright is not the first copyright that I've done, but I'm using this copyright for an example because everything that I'm doing in this process and that you'll be doing is you'll be making everything applicable to the trust, okay? So this common law copyright notice is a newer version, and it is, this one is mine for my trust, and you would put the certified mail receipt number here. I filed my copyright online with my UCC one, and so therefore I just put online filing, and then you can put the number of your online filing here also when you get that. Now, you're going to use the same copyright to mail out to other people, okay? If you mail out to someone, then you're going to put the name of the company that you provided it to here. And then if you use a certified mail number, which you would in that case, or however you mail it, then you'll be putting that mailing information here. I recommend that you use the certified mail, okay? So now, this copyright notice, of course, it says that all rights are reserved, and the copyright of the trade name is what we're copyrighting here. So my born name, or my trademark name, Vivian Gale, is the trust that I established when I got my EIN over my estate, okay? So I became the first lien holder when I put a lien on my straw man, and so from that, we go ahead and create a trust and put a copyright so no one else can use that name or anything associated with it. So Vivian Gale Trust is what this copyright is specific for, including any and all derivatives and variations in the spelling, i.e. not limited to all capital names. Vivian Gale, copyright Vivian Gale Bennett, Vivian Gale LLC, Freedom Imani Asha L, Freedom L, or any derivatives thereof, are under copyright since 2022. Said common law name trademark Vivian Gale may neither be used, thank you, that makes more sense, or reproduced, neither in whole or in part, in any manner whatsoever, without the prior express written consent and acknowledgement of trustee or trust in writing, with the intent of being contractually bound, and any juristic person, as well as the agent thereof, by notice of this copyright, is noticed that neither said juristic person nor agent thereof is authorized to display nor otherwise use in any manner the common law trade name, trademark, nor the copyright described herein, nor any derivative of, nor any variation in the spelling thereof, without the prior written consent and acknowledgment of trust/trustee, as signified in writing with the signed consent. Trustee neither grants nor implies nor otherwise gives consent for any unauthorized use of Vivian Gale, and all such unauthorized use is strictly prohibited. By receipt of this notice, you are hereby made aware of this copyright. If otherwise ignorant of the fact that said copyright is a matter of public record, this is notification that you are in breach. You herein have two options for remedy of this breach of copyright. 1. You consent to the removal of information and discontinuation of use of all information held in copyright that contains copyrighted materials from all database, publications, chronicles, manifestos, newspapers, and/or records of any type, and issues a written apology, or 2, if the first option of this section is neither effective nor arrangements to the effect cure of breach as described is not engaged within 10 days of the receipt of this notice, then the clause by default will be enacted, and you consent to the following self-executing contract / security agreement in the event of unauthorized use, as well as payment terms as described. Self-executing contract or security agreement in the event of unauthorized use. By this notice, both the juristic person and the agent thereof, herein jointly and severally, consent and agree that any use of trade name, trademark, copyright, other than the authorized use as set forth herein constitutes unauthorized use and counterfeiting of property, contractually binds user and renders this notice security agreement wherein user is trust and Freedom Imani Asha'el is secured party and signifies that user. In accordance with the fees for unauthorized use of the trade name, trademark, copyright as set forth herein, consents to be invoiced for outstanding balance and agrees that the user shall pay trust all unauthorized use fees in full within 30 days of the date user is sent an invoice itemizing said fees. C. Grants trustee the right to invoice 3 times at 30-day intervals, at which time the user consents to outstanding balance will be filed as a lien levy via a UCC financing statement in the UCC filing office or any county recorder's office where user is trust and trust is secured party, and that secured party may file such lien levy against property as a security interest in all users' assets, land and personal property, and all of users' interest in assets, land, and personal property in the certain sum amount of $500,000 per each occurrence of use of the common law copyrighted trademark name, plus cost plus triple damages. Consent and agrees that said UCC financing statement described in C is a continuing financing statement, and further consents and agrees with trust filing of any continuation statement necessary for maintaining secured parties' perfect security interest in all of users' property and interest in property pledged as collateral in this security agreement and described herein until users' contractual obligations thereto incurred has been fully satisfied. Okay, so read this over and over again until it makes sense to you. Waives all defenses, consents, and agrees that any and all such filings described herein going without remedy are not and may not be considered bogus, frivolous, and that the user will not claim such a defense in regard. Appoint secured party as authorized representative for user, effective upon user's default. User's contractual obligation in favor of secured obligation as set forth herein, granting trustee full authorization and power for the engaging in any and all actions on behalf of the user, including but not limited to authentication of record on behalf of the user as secured party, at secured party sole discretion, and as secured party deems appropriate, and user further consents and agrees that this appointment of secured party as authorized representative for user, effective upon user's default, is irrevocable and coupled with a security interest. Terms of strict foreclosure. Users' non-payment in full of all unauthorized use fees itemized in invoice within said 90-day period for curing default as set forth and authorized without recourse, trustee, secured party, immediate non-judicial strict foreclosure on any and all remaining former property and interest in property formerly pledged as collateral by user, now property of the secured party, which is not in the possession of nor otherwise disposed of by secured party upon expiration of said period. Okay, so you see one thing right there, it's telling you exactly what all of the actions here in this copyright are 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 alluding to, or what power that it's charging you with. Okay, so here, my national name, Freedom Imani Asha L / Vivian Gale, autograph common law copyright 2022, unauthorized use of Freedom Imani Asha L, Vivian Gale, incurs same unauthorized use fees as those associated with notice provided under certified mail number, etc., etc., as set forth in the first paragraph of the first page. Please feel free to contact me or us at any time of the following if you would like to discuss terms of securing the breach of copyright. And then you'll put your information there without prejudice, and I would put my seal, which is the red thumbprint here, before I mail it out. So you can do that too. Okay, so I read recently, I can't remember in which book I was reading that. If you do, let's see, all rights reserved, your signature and your thumbprint, that will be what is the word that they use? I guess higher than a judge's authority in a court of law. So you want to make sure you sign, put your seal, and all rights reserved. And then, of course, you get it notarized. Okay, so in commerce, we do things that are commercial in a commercial way. So if you want these things to be taken seriously, I recommend that you get them notarized. If you don't want to notarize them, then you can do the common law copyright, which is to have two signatures of two nationals, and on the bottom, instead of here, you can have your signature and another signature of another national in red with the thumbprint. But I chose to go this way. Okay. So, as far as this common law copyright notices, I thought it was important to start learning how to use some of these documents that we're creating and sending them out. Because a lot of time we send things out, and then if something were to happen, we're like, okay, what do I do? You know what you do? You come right back here and you read this document over and over again until you use it. Until you understand it. So you see here it's referring to with the intent of being contractually bound by any juristic person. So what this is talking about is the trust and the trustee are mentioned in the security agreement, and the straw man or straw person, Vivian Gale in all caps, is given the natural being a signed agreement. Okay, they're contractually bound. So Freedom Imani L is now contractually bound through the security agreement, and everything is secured through this copyright here that's given, Vivian Gale is given Freedom Imani Asha L, okay, the copyright, permissions, and protection as well. I should just say protections. Okay, so is secure party. All right, so when you come down here, like I said, if you don't understand something in this document, just keep reading it over and over again. You know, that's what I did. I read it 3 or 4 times, and then when I go back over it again, if I'm getting ready to use it, again 2 or 3, 4 months later, and a question comes up in my mind, the first place I go is back to my documents, because our documents should explain everything to the agency that it's going to, and it should make things clear for us as well. So don't think that you have to go asking anybody. Just look at your documents. So this is the common law trust that I use in setting up the trust and the TDA account. Okay, so we'll be going over more forms, how to, etc. And the next form that we're going to look at is going to be how to sign and on your documents. Okay. So that's all I have for today. If I think of anything else, I'll be back, but I'm pretty sure that this and the prior page before that will give you some information on how to use the common law copyright, making a copy so that you can keep it with you all the time, front and back.